Hello, master traders, fellow sheeps, and fellow chartists. The market didn't do crap today, guys. You guys, we're looking at the 15-minute chart of the SPY here. You guys see my two yellow lines. I have it at the 605 level. Actually, 605.5. That was the sell zone. And I have one at the 602 level. That was the buy zone. You guys see, market didn't do nothing. And I think my prediction is this, since every YouTuber want to make prediction nowadays. My prediction is this: with CPI tomorrow, I think the chop will end. Okay, my predictions tend to be different. I don't try to guess where I think the market's gonna go. Okay, I only do that on personal time with friends. When we're not trading. Because we don't want to trade based on predictions. We trade based on the price action. But I do predictions for fun. And I tell you this, if I get like 150 likes on this video, I'll start doing more fun predictions on my YouTube video on where I actually do think the market's heading, okay? But until then, unless I get 150 likes, Uncle Charlie's gonna focus on what really truly matters, okay? Which is the price action context. But before we even get to the price action, I will say this. We have CPI tomorrow. This past year, CPI has been a coin toss. Is it gonna lead to a big move? Is it gonna lead to nothing? A lot of time it's led to nothing. But the last CPI we had right here, it put in a bottom. The last CPI we had was what, January 15th. We had this big gap up, and it put in a bottom. It led to a new all-time highs. Wasn't really much of a new all-time high, but technically it did. New all-time high close. And I'm wondering if it's going to happen again tomorrow. Are we going to continue with more chop, or are we going to get some type of move? I'm predicting that we're going to get a move. Okay, now I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I'll admit it in tomorrow's video. Okay, I don't mind. But my prediction is that we are going to get a move tomorrow, and it's going to come in the form of either a gap up or a gap down. Okay, now before I even get to telling you guys how I'm going to trade tomorrow, I do want to mention that I'm not going to be covering all the ticker symbols today, okay? I'm going to cover the SPY, I'm going to cover Amazon, and I'm going to cover Tesla because I actually have something to say about those ticker symbols. All the other ticker symbols, I just don't want to bore you guys with the same repetitive stuff. But I am expecting a move tomorrow with the SPY and company, so I think I will have some things to say about all the other ticker symbols: Apple, Coin, DOGE, Meta, and so on. Okay, but for now, for today's video, I'm only going to cover the ones I actually have something to talk about. Well, I feel I have something to talk about, which is SPY, Amazon, and Tesla. Okay, but we're going to start off with the SPY. And I believe with CPI tomorrow, we are going to get a move, either to the upside or to the downside, of course, right? But I don't think we're going to chop. Now, what do we need to look out for? Well, I have this structure right here, guys. I have this structure, triangle. It's getting tighter. We also have the inside candle here, which signifies chop. I believe the chop will end, and it will come in the form of either a gap up or a gap down. Now, we have to talk about the gaps, though, okay? We have an example here. This is a breakaway gap, but this is a bearish breakaway gap, okay? This is an example of a bearish breakaway gap. And I also want you guys to look at this example. This is also a breakaway gap, but it is a bullish breakaway gap. Now, what do you notice about these two gaps? What do you notice about this gap? And what do you notice about this gap? There's a reason that they're called breakaway gaps. Breakaway gaps is when you gap up out of a structure or a trend pattern, okay? You guys see here, we had, what is this, a triangle? In this example, we had a breakaway gap, a bullish breakaway gap, where this ticker symbol, it looks like MRK, broke out of the triangle, and it gapped out of the triangle. This is a bullish breakaway gap. And when we look at the bearish example, this is a gap down of the trend line. A gap down. So this is a bearish breakaway gap. So we go back to the SPY here, and we can see that we got a triangle pattern. Okay, if I zoom out or go back a little bit, you guys see this this uptrend line goes way back all the way to September, and we had multiple tests as support of this trend line. Okay, multiple tests. And then we have this uptrend line, oh well, not uptrend line, this downtrend line from the upside over here. Couple of tests. If it's a bullish breakaway gap, SPY will need to break above 609. If it's a bearish breakaway gap, SPY will need to break down 602 and 600. Okay, guys? So that's what I want us to watch out for tomorrow. When the CPI data gets released, which way will the SPY gap to? If we see that SPY is gapping above 609 tomorrow, that is a bullish breakaway gap. If we see SPY breaking down and gapping below 602 and 600, that is a bearish breakaway gap. Now, my prediction is not in direction, but it's a prediction that we're going to get a gap. And it's going to be one of these gaps, a bearish breakaway gaps or a bullish breakaway gap. And you guys can see if we get the bullish one, it does lead to more upside. And if we get the bearish one, it does lead to more downside. Okay, guys, this is what I'm sharing with you guys is how I plan to react to the market tomorrow. If I see it above 609, my next resistance level is around 610.7. I'll look to long if that level clears. I'll be able to give a lot better details in my Discord, so definitely consider joining my Discord and use the 50% code. Use that discount for the first month. And if I see it break down 602 and 600 or give us that gap down, breakaway gap, I will be looking along if it breaks the next support at 598 and 596, and I will be targeting those lower levels. You guys don't have to copy me. Uncle is not a financial advisor, but that's as close as a prediction that you're going to get from me. I do not believe that we are going to chop tomorrow. And if we do chop tomorrow, which means the SPY stays below 609 and it stays above 602, yeah, then my prediction was completely wrong and we continue to chop. Okay? But I'm expecting a big move tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not wrong. The next thing I do want to talk to you guys about is Amazon. Now, like the same way I'm expecting a decent sized move for SPY tomorrow. Dare I even say a really, a good move. I'm expecting the same thing for Amazon. We have a double. This looks like a double inside candle setup. Okay. February 7th candle is the grandma candle. February 10th candle is the mama candle because she's in the range of grandma's candle. And then today's candle is the baby candle. Okay, this is the grandbaby. Double inside candle setup. Which means it's chopping and the range is getting tighter, is getting smaller, which in my opinion is going to lead to, it should lead to an explosive move tomorrow. Now the levels to watch are 233 and 235. If we break out 233 and 235 tomorrow, I'm bullish on Amazon and I favor 237, 240 or higher in play. I'm expecting it tomorrow. And if we break down support at 231 and 229.4, 228, 226.5, 225 and 222-ish are all in play. I'm expecting a big move tomorrow for Amazon, and those are the levels that Uncle will be watching, okay? Now, Tesla was beautiful. I covered Tesla for my Tier 1 members. It was crazy. I wrote over here, overall bearish below 347.5. If 346 fails next, 344, 342, and 340 is incoming. Oh, wow. It gave us an even better move than that. You guys can see. We broke down that 340. It was below 347.3, broke down 346, broke down 344, and it just led to more downside. I thought it was hilarious. And I made another post. I wrote, wow, just bearish. And I let my members know I have next support at 335.5 and 334. If more downside is the plan, these levels must fail to put 332 and 330-ish in play. I thought we'd get down to 330, but it did even better than that. you guys can see, holy moly donut shop. This yellow line right here is my 335.5 level. See on a 15-minute chart, well, this is 30-minute chart, broke down 335.5, broke it down, and it led to a beautiful move to the downside. This is why you can't just say, oh, the RSI is oversold. This is why we don't want to call bottoms. We don't want to call tops or bottoms. This is a perfect example. Why? Because we just don't know how much more it's going to go down. We don't know when it's going to reverse. Just follow the price action. Most people probably bought the dip around here. Oh, SPY just dropped $12. Tesla dropped $12. Tesla dropped $50. I'm going along here, but the price action broke down the next support level, which I wrote in my Discord, and it led to more downside. We got to follow the price action. So we got to go to the daily chart here. Okay? Got to go to the daily chart here. Uncle has fib levels from January 2nd low, and I have it up to January 17th high. We lost multiple fib levels today. The latest being at around 331.8. I'm going to round it to 332. Guys, it's way below that right now. So I have resistant level at 327, 328.5, 330, and 332. The last fib level that we lost was 332. So I can't trust any bounces. I cannot favor a relief bounce unless those levels get recaptured, or at the very least give us a gap up. We need some false breakdown setups. We need some false breakdown setups if we are to get bullish. Lost levels must recapture. Okay, as of right now, guys, I'm gonna remain bearish. You guys watch my previous video. Uncle been saying I was bearish on Tesla for quite some time. I'm not getting no credit for it, but I'm still grateful that I get to cover this for you guys and to the few people who listen. I hope you guys are making a lot of money. I really do. It's just flowing to you guys freely, easily. Anyways, I tell you this. If we are to get more downside, I have next support at 325. If that level fails, guys, don't argue with the price action. 322, 320.6, and 319 are all in play. I think we get lower than that. But like I said, if we can recapture 327, 328.5, 330, and 332, then maybe we can get a relief bounce, okay? And I don't think that's unreasonable. I mean, look how much we dropped. A relief bounce is not unreasonable. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. Little recap on SPY. I'm expecting the chop to end tomorrow with help from CPI. I could be wrong, and if I am, I'll admit it and I'll address it in the next video, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong. Hopefully with CPI we can get some catalyst. As much as I say the news don't really matter, focus on price action, a lot of times price action doesn't do nothing unless there's a damn catalyst. We got CPI, we got Donald Trump back as the president. Let's see what happens tomorrow. All I can say to my fellow sheeps, my fellow master traders is be ready. Bye!